Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Well, this is Adam with Engine72. So we're back with my, probably, from what I looked around, either the cheapest running and driving or one of. This is my $7,300 SL55 AMG. Running and driving? Kinda. It will drive places and it will run, but the transmission's having some issues. So what we got here is some fixes to it. So I got some tranny fluid, which is ATF4 134. This should basically be adequate to the shell, if not better or roughly the same. And then I got a full conductor plate kit. So this is a brand new conductor plate, brand new gasket, brand new nag plug, and brand new filter. Everything we need to fix this car. The code I was getting was input turbine speed. So I was getting two of those and an incorrect gear ratio code, which that one probably is just the tires. So in this video, we're probably going to be doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but mainly getting this car running and driving to do a nice, fun, full pool. So let's start knocking that bad girl out. Alright, to start this job, pretty straightforward. I've done a couple videos, but just in case there's more people to my channel, like SL people, I'll show you how to do this tranny stuff. Pretty easy. Start with a 5, drain it. Oh, I actually need the socket. Hand it to me behind you. So, don't really use an impact on this. There's a copper washer in there. Alright, so I just get like a little extension and a 5. And then, I've been driving this car, so it's going to be hot as heck right now, because it is over 100 here in sunny Florida. And we're going to see what condition. Ooh, that's pretty brown. And it's pretty hot. So here's the copper washer I was talking about. And I can smell this is pretty burnt. So, we'll be draining this. And it might have been low. That also might have been a problem with my transmission. Alright, so if you can look at my bucket, this is everything that just drained down in the pan. Look at, only up to there. I don't think this had enough oil in it. But, since I already have the parts, let's just do the full service and everything. So this is basically going to be a tranny service with filter and gasket, brand new nag plug, and brand new conductor plate. That should cover a lot of bases. And this whole kit was $65 for the kit. I'll put a link below. And then the fluid did cost 45 bucks. The amount of fluid you should need for this setup is 6 quarts. Now, I bought 8. Just because it was cheaper to buy 8. Because sometimes you buy them in cases of 6, sometimes you buy a case of 12, sometimes they come in 8. But you should roughly need 6. So next thing you're going to do is a T30, and you're going to have to get these over here. There's 6 of them. So I like to break them loose first with like a wrench. Here, a little snap, that's a good sign. Ah! It just dripped on me. Ah. And then just go all the way around with it. And then when you're doing it, when you're whizzing them out, there shouldn't be that much oil left in there, but just be careful. Alright, so we got the pan off. Man, something just fell. So we still have some fluid in there, but not that much. And this is hot as heck, so we're going to dump it out. But looking at it, I don't see no chunks of metal, and I don't see a lot of debris on the magnet right there, so we'll clean all this off. But it's definitely low. And then here's the filter. So I got my bucket under here to catch a lot of stuff. And then I'm going to put that tray right there. And then we'll look at this filter, and oil is going to dump out with this filter. Alright. Okay, next you got to make sure you get the nag plug out. So what you're going to do is pull this down. So you see this little like maroon looking piece right here. And then it pops right out. So right there, that plug. So we're going to kind of examine the plug. It doesn't look too bad. There's not a crap load of oil in here. Usually when these are going bad, there's oil all in there. But you need to remove this plug to get the conductor plate off. So that's why we're going to put a new one. So you're going to get a 7. Get a 7, 3/4, something small, nothing too big. And it's going to go right in there. This stuff should be roughly hand tight. So do not hit this with an impact. And as you can see, let's see how easy this one is to come out. This should be like literally, yeah, see? They do not need to be too tight with these. And then they'll pop out. So back it out. Ooh. I should have let this car cool down. It is hot as hootenanny. But, trying to get the stuff done. So, get that in there a little bit more. And these lights help out a lot. The one with the little magnet on there. You get them at Harbor Freight. They're, I think, 30 bucks. Alright. And then this should pop right out. Sometimes if they're original, you might need to get a little pry bar. Alright, so I just put a little pry bar right there and just popped it a little bit, because sometimes they get stuck in their old age. And then here's the nag plug. So this is going to be trash because the ring broke off and everything like that, but I got a new one anyways. Now, since you got that, you're going to start getting the valve body down. So what they are T30s, and they're going to be one. Here, can you see over there good enough? So I'm going to point them all out, and I'm going to start whizzing them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's your hidden one right there. And then you got 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? And be very careful with these. Do not break it. Do not put an impact. Do it all by hand, and just go slow. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll show you a few of them. It's not really that hard to do. And also, this valve body is pretty heavy. So when you are breaking them loose on the last ones, just make sure you're ready to grab it. And just go really gingerly. I probably should not even have this long of an extension. There you go. 1. I break them all loose first. See how I almost just stripped that? Do not have this long of an extension. Alright, so now we got the valve body off. It's pretty simple. Start by taking these caps off. I always like to put towels under here so I don't really contaminate it too much because I'm doing it like outside in a garage. And then these caps should pop right off. And then I want to see if these are the blue tops. Give me 1 second. Yep. So these already got the blue top solenoid, so the upgraded solenoids. So now what we're going to do is start to do the little rebuild. So it's relatively simple. Just take your time when you do it. So you're going to be using the T30 again right here. Break them loose, and then you can whiz them off, and I just do one at a time. So the brackets are different, so make sure you keep them. See how one's longer than the other? So I just kind of place them how exactly they would sit in the valve body. So now if I remember, these are going to be shifting like 1, 2, 2, 3, so on and so forth. This is torque converter lockup, and these are actually the shift solenoids. So just so you kind of know, I'm going to pull each of them out, examine it, make sure there's nothing too crazy wrong with it. That would be like a smoking gun. Ooh, these are a little bit tight. So, that one came off nicely. These should be a little bit snug, so we're going to look it over, make sure O-rings, make sure there's no like huge debris down there. And just go one at a time. Yeah, they look like all factory Mercedes ones. Pull out. And you don't really want to mix these up. These 3 shouldn't matter, but the rest of them will. If I can't pop these out, I'm probably going to let it cool down a little bit and then try to grab it again. Alright, so next we're going to get the conductor plate off. That's what this is. So, to get these off, they're kind of just pushed in. They got little clips right there. You see how that little clip drops in? That holds it right there, right by that finger. And then on this side too. So we're going to kind of be aggressive with it because it doesn't matter if we break it. This is the old one. I don't want to break it, but the clip should be right there. Oh, this thing's still hot. So I'm going to actually let this cool down a little bit probably and then pop it off. So we got the conductor plate off. I'm not seeing a smoking gun really, but there is a lot of like debris and metal right over here by these sensors. Pretty sure these are the actual turbine input sensors. So we'll take this, put it to the side, but this should all be trash, and then we got our brand new one. So one recommendation, whenever you get these, you see how this one's yellow? That one's white? That means most likely brand new. I have ordered from a company before. We will not mention the company. That was already used. Basically, they sprayed it off or cleaned it off, whatever. So next thing I'm going to do, I always like to clean my valve bodies, because if you can see, look right here. See how it's like clean and then black? It ain't supposed to be black. So we're going to take some brake clean and kind of blow out every area I can and kind of clean everything up. Alright, so now we got it kind of all cleaned out. We're going to take our brand new one and drop this bad girl right on. She should just snap right in the same hole, so just be careful, don't break off your ears. And should feel a pretty good snap like that. Snap one, and then snap two. Now it's in, give it a good little wipe down. And then you can start putting your solenoids in. So just do the exact same way you took them out. I'm going to kind of wipe them off a little bit. Make sure they pop in like that. So you want them to be not just sitting there, but you want to feel that pop. You should have heard it on the camera. And then get the braces on. And it's pretty straightforward. Going back in. Now I'll tell you this now, just in case I forget to show you. This arm right here is a manual adjusting arm. You got to make sure that lines up with the car, because see how this moves? So if you end up moving it, don't worry, it's not that big of a deal. Just make sure it's adjusted in there. So we're going to tighten all these down, and then start cleaning out the pan. All right, so next I'm going to clean out the pan. I put a little simple or purple power in here. Let it wash around. One thing I do like to examine is here's the magnet. I try to look for chunks and huge debris, but as you can see, it's just like a little bit of clutch material, but nothing too crazy. So I want to make sure this is perfectly clean before we put it back in. So I'm going to go wipe all the magnet off, and then clean the pan, make sure there's no debris in there, and then let it dry and throw it in. All right, so remember that little piece I was telling you have to line up? It's right here. So right where my finger is, where you're going to line up to the shifter. So once you have it lined up, it should lock itself in and it'll be good. And then start tightening all these down. As you see, I got them all kind of hand tight. I just kind of whiz them up there. And then I'm going to torque them down properly. So go over it again. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So also when you're tightening them up, go into like a crisscross pattern, like outside, outside, inside, blah, blah, blah. And then you should be good. We're going to knock that out really quick, and then we'll keep moving on. All right, so now we're going to put the filter in. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the gasket. Also make sure the old gasket is in there. And then if you see this tab, there's a tab right there. Can you see it? It's going to go right into here, okay? So these should pop in. See how it kind of fits right in? Then just pop it in. Make sure it's snug. It might take a little bit. That should be good. And then we're going to do the nag plug over here. All right, so next we're going to put the nag plug in. Make sure we got our 2 gaskets. I put a little oil on there. And then this should push right in. So you're going to kind of like rotate a little bit. You'll feel it lock. See how it locked? And then just push her on in. Wow, this tranny is still hot. And it should pop in. All right, there we go. And then the little nut back there, you're going to tighten that nut up. And it's once again going to be the 7. And that you want just to be hand tight, so don't break it. All right, so now we got the nag plug in. Make sure you get that 7 just hand tight. Do not crank it down. And then you're going to put your plug back in. It should only fit one way. So once you got it kind of snug, don't really push. So you push up and it'll suck it in. Watch. Well, it's supposed to. So hold on. Maybe I got it a little bit off. There you go. See? Once you got it lined up good, it'll go right in. Get that harness out of the way. And it pulls it right on in. So now that's all good. There's supposed to be a cap over here, but it looks like it might have been broken off. But we still got the shield. So we got all that good. Now we're just going to put the pan back on and start filling it up. All right, so now that we got basic conductor plate and everything bolted underneath, we're going to start filling up with some oil. I'm going to start roughly 5, and then we'll fire it up and check data. But to make it easier, we're going to put the hood in service mode. And if you don't know what these SLs, it's a little button right here. You just push it, and it'll go right up. Make sure you hit your ceiling, and that gives you so much more room for activities. Now to fill these up, it's going to be on the passenger side. Right back here, we're going to remove the air box to get to it a little bit easier. Well, actually, maybe I don't need it. It's right here. Little cap right there. So if you come in right straight here, right down there, there's a little thing. Let me see if I get my flashlight. See it right there? I just removed the cap. See the hole that's directly right there. So we'll get our funnel and start filling it up. So one thing I did notice, normally these are 5-quart containers. This is 5-liter containers. So it's 1.5 quarts per liter. So this should be like 5.25. So 5 1/4 is this whole thing. So I actually have a lot more than 8. So we're going to fill it up with this. Hopefully that should be plenty. And then we'll go from there. But let's clean our funnel out. Of course, the proper way to do this is you get the proper Mercedes dipstick, what I got right behind me, and then you want to get up the temperature. So we're going to go fire up the car, we're going to go put it in and out of gear and kind of like let all the fluid move around and let it start getting up to temp. And I'll hook my scanner up to make sure it's at the proper temperature. And I'll show you how to use the whole gauge. Alright, so we're going to go in the transmission codes. I have a crap load of them, so we'll just clear all these out. Clear fault codes, you want to clear them. And then we're going to start going live data. So I got to figure out, let me remember where the live data stream is this, and I'll show you guys. So, unfortunately we took for a test drive, and the car was still going lit mode. So I just don't think I cleared the adaptations, because I didn't do that from the handheld. So now I'm going to show you how to do it here, if your car still doesn't work. Come on over. So you get yourself a star system. I've had this for many years. Get them off eBay. They're really cheap. Forward, forward, forward. You pick what you have, a car. There's no option for badass car, so just a car. Hit next. Go to your model. And W30 or 230. That's chassis code, by the way. Some of you guys should really know that. You could also do SLR from here. Cool, huh? Loading some data. Alright. Left hand. Yep. Now we pick which one. 55. Big boy car. Alright. Then we go to control. You can do a quick test. That'll test every function. But we don't want to do that. We want to go to drive. Tranny. Communication. Alright, so you want to check fault codes first. No fault codes, so I reset them. So what you want to do is go to adaptations. Go to display and reset. Reset all adaptations. Click it. Do you want to... Yep. It's been reset. Okay. So also what I'm going to do, just in case it wasn't like the tranny and if like the car was getting too hot, I want to check the pump. I want to check the clutch. So I'm going to show you how to do all that right now. So you're going to get out. Go to 2.8. That's the benefit of the Star. You could just do so much stuff with it. And it's pretty easy, user-friendly. Alright, we were going to... I got to remember... Should be that one. And then, so we're going to go over here to the magnet first. So I'm going to click the magnet. So it's going to give you blah, 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 blah. Fan should be on, so on and so forth. So it's going to turn the fan on. So just make sure you don't kill your battery when doing all this stuff. Here, the fan clicked on. So, let me show you over here. Come on over to the clutch. Ah! So, this is to make sure that my clutch is engaging, because maybe the car was in like poop mode because it had no supercharger. Alright, so you see right now, you can spin the clutch. So keep the camera over here, you'll actually see it engage, and I'll show you that you can't spin it anymore, and that way I know if the supercharger engages. Alright, so still disengaged. Did you actually see it pull in? Now look it, solid. So I know the supercharger is engaging, so that's not an issue. Next thing, we're going to check the intercooler pump. I'm going to show you how to do it on the computer, but you're not really going to be able to see it in real time. So, see how it says active? So then we're going to hit stop, go backwards, and then we're going to go to the circulating pump. This is the intercooler pump. So if the supercharger, if the intercooler pump went bad and it wasn't actually working, you get super high air intake temps. So you're going to start it and then just put your hand on the pump and you'll feel it vibrate. So same thing, you just come over here, activate, okay? On, off, pretty effing straightforward. Those are two very good tests to know to help you diagnose like if the car has no power. Okay, so the next little thing we're going to do in here, it's a good little first mod because it's going to turn the fan on earlier and that'll help drop air intake temps. The only really negative to it, it's going to make a little bit louder noise, but here in Florida it's over 100 degrees, so we want that air to be cooled faster. There's not really any other negative that I know. So you're going to go to the control unit adaptations, hit your enter, go with correction programming. You can do a few things from here. The one we're going to go to is for electric suction fan engaging time. This will also help your AC of making it turn on a lot earlier. So if you, right here is what your actual thing is. So that means it's going to come on at 0 degrees Celsius. So if you read it, it basically says the higher the number, the earlier it's going to come on, which makes it pretty much sense. We don't want to come on at 0 degrees Celsius. You could go up to 10 degrees Celsius. So if you think it's coming on too early, you could adjust it, but factory for Florida should be 0. I think some other states it's a little bit different, and then you just hit F2, and there you go. It's coded on there. If you want to double check, just check it, and now see what it is right when you turn on. Now it's at 10 degrees Celsius. So that is a free, cheap, easy mod that will help your air intake temps drop early, and you can do it with just a star system. You don't need to get a tuner or nothing like that. So now we're going to pull back out. We're going to go take the car for a test drive, and hopefully the car is fixed now that we have basically that adaptations reset for the tranny. So we're going to hope that's fixed. Alright, so we're out here. We're going to go test a drive in nice sunny Mexico. We'll go up the block a little bit, do a small little pull. And usually after the first pull, it went okay. Second pull goes okay. And then the third one, it usually poopies out. So we'll see. We're in first gear. We're going to do the same thing, kind of womping on it. Same thing, freaking spins. Already, it is a lot faster. Like, it's actually going through the gears. So usually it would have faulted by now. So we're going to try it again. Maybe not do a 20 pull, because as you can see, we just go wee, wee in a 20 pull. So we're here in Mexico. We're going to try to do a nice little Yui and try one more. Let's just do a normal kick down pull. So I'm just going to floor it and kick it down really quick. Yep. Oh, it's working now. Hard on the brakes. Good brakes. Good brakes. And then let's try to do another pull. We're going to just do a standard kick down, because this is how it's faulting after I kind of did this U-turn. All right, so we're going to try the kick down. We're just going to do a 20 pull, no chain shifting. Make sure it kicks down. All good. Yep, we're good. We're pulling. Oh, it's fixed. This car is a zippy little car. So normally it would have faulted way by now, but this just did a really good pull, and it's like over 100 degrees out right now. I think it's like 101 here in Mexico. So we're going to fly the car home, and I think we got it fixed. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to check, we have the old fluid that dripped all off. We almost got it all except a teeny bit that fell on the floor, and we got this jug. So we put this exact amount into the car, and it got it up to perfect. So we're going to see how much actually came out, because I think the car was pretty low. But let's see, and hopefully I can do this very gingerly. And man, you could just see, look how brown that was. And this is supposed to be red. Like, you see how brown it is? This was definitely burnt oil, and it might have been low. Most likely it was probably leaking from like the trans pan or something. Don't mind that barking in the background, that's just an ex-girlfriend. She got out of the cage. Alright, almost there. Little by little. Pretty close. So we had, wow, 2 liters. And it took 5 to fill this up. So that tranny was low. That could have been part of the problem. But this whole kit, tranny, transmission fluid, conductor plate, nag plug, filter, 65 bucks. Fluid, another 45 bucks. So for roughly $100, it should have solved every problem, and it did, because the car is pretty flying now. I will admit, I was pretty upset when I bought the car and he told me I was running and driving, and I was just, you take it for the test drive and you're just like, brr. Because to me, maybe it's not a lot of money to people, but I have so many of these cars. Spending $7,300 on one project is a big chunk of change for me, but now I'm pretty happy with it. The suspension is still a little bit wonky, but it drives fine. So I probably will wait off on the coils, maybe, unless I can find a cooler deal. Or if someone wants to sponsor me, anyone from BC Coilovers wants to hit me up, I'll gladly put your product on the car and I'll show you how to fix it. Or there's a couple local people in Florida that make kits for this. I will be contacting them and see if I can get a sponsorship with them. Just get a little bit of discount, because some of the kits cost $3,000 for the ABC conversion kit, and some of them cost $1,200. So it would be cool to see the $3,000 one give me a huge discount, and then everyone can see if the $3,000 is worth it. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm super happy with the car. Next videos, we're probably going to do a little bit of like a detailing. I'm going to go around and buy all the cosmetic parts for that, just because I want this car to look nice. And then we'll add some more power and have some fun with it. But thanks, guys, for watching. I hope you guys like the SL55 content. This was a big price for me. And don't worry, the SLK is coming back. I want a little bit colder weather, and we'll take that back to the track to try to run a 10-second pass. The E55 will be coming back really soon, because I got to get that car ready for FL2K. And if you look over there, I got some big old meats ready for it. See? Those are some big boys. We're going to see if they fit. Don't mind that. That's a part for my other car. But catch you guys later. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you guys want to support the channel, watch the ads that cost you nothing. Or I'm going to start having merch soon. And I already, I had the ND72 shirts. I think I have 2 or 3 of them left. If you guys want, they're $25. Just hit me up. I don't know how many sizes I got left, but I did sell out of these pretty quickly. So I'll have more merch, because this one was pretty cool and a lot of people like it. So catch you guys later. Have fun. Super dog. You got it?